Okay. First person will work for you if you're deeply in touch with your identity in all levels: physical, mental, and spiritual. Or if you were deeply in touch with that person that you were when you were inside the event. If you only treat the injury on the surface, the depths can still be infected. So, first person will make you dive as close to the bottom as you possibly can, and that's where the treasure often lies. But it's also the deepest and darkest depths and the revelation of yourself. You really have to ask yourself if you can handle it. Not everyone can, and that's okay. Write as if no one else will read it. If you're writing what you think others will want to hear, it won't be nearly as therapeutic on any level. The only person you don't have to pull punches on is yourself. You know what you can dish out and you know what you can take. That's the objective here. First person can also be used as a confession, not so much as a confession in church as a confession to somebody that you feel like you wronged in some way while you were in the event. It's often that anguish that we hold on to. It's not that we were in a traumatic event or that we've experienced trauma. It's that we did something that we felt was wrong in some way to somebody or something or to our unit or to our branch of service or to our family. And so first person gives you the option to write that confession if that's what's bothering you. Often this is associated with what's called moral injury. And it's a slippery slope. However, if you do write a confession, be careful about whether you decide or not to give it to that person, place, or thing that you're confessing to. You may just be doing it for yourself. Consider it very carefully before you give it away, but do it for yourself. You were probably a different person when the event happened. You're probably a different person now. You have to write from who you are now to who you were then. You have to remember who you were before that event happened and what it changed you into so that you can begin to understand yourself and the point of view that you're writing from. First and foremost, don't worry about other people. Don't worry about what they said about you, what they thought about you. Don't worry about any of that. You may be writing in the now, you may be writing in the then. It may be more helpful for you to write in the now and the then. In first person, you can intermingle the timelines that can help you develop your story for yourself and also help you to revisit your old self and how your current self would speak to your old self. So, voice covers all time zones. You just have to separate it out so that people know when you're changing between your past self and your present self. I'm assuming you're here because you need to face something that you haven't really faced. And in order to do that, you have to let the demons out and roam. And maybe you're not real comfortable doing that. Well, you can put them on a leash. Because in the end, you have to be honest with you. Because the only way you can accept you for who you are is by standing your ground first with yourself. Nobody else has to know. No therapist has to know. No family member has to know. No friends have to know. I don't have to know. I don't know what you're writing. Only if you come to me for mentoring or something along those lines would I know, and all that would be confidential anyway. So only you need to know. You do not have to share this. You do not. You're under no obligation other than to fix it yourself. The piece that you're about to read on the next page is my personal modeling. It's never been published. In fact, I wrote it while I was developing this module to keep it real with you. So you can get an idea of what's called a weaving of my past into my present. Um, and it's real and it's raw and it's a little bit long, but it's worth it to give you an example of what it can look like as far as first person is concerned. This concludes first person. You may have decided that first person is what you want to do. However, I encourage you to look at the next two modules, the first one on second person, the next one on third person, and then module 5, which will sort of be a wrap up. If you really feel strongly about only doing first person, then you can go straight to module 5. However, once you write your first one, you may consider that you want to write other ones that are not first person. That's why I encourage you to try out the second person and third person modules, just so you can get a viewpoint, even if you don't use them immediately.